Okay, here it is. How about some clapping? All right. So, the Railcore. So this is number 7, right? So we will print today. A couple of things have transpired since yesterday's stream. We were trying to get sensorless homing working, and I did get it to work. And I will, if anybody's interested in trying it, I will leave a link to the scripts that I used that I found on the internet to get them to work. I slowed it, I set it to a certain speed, feed rate around 3,000, something like that. I lowered the current. I was able to get it to sensorless home, but not consistently. Y seemed to work just fine. X did not. X would touch, but then it would not always return to the same spot. So I bagged that idea. Also, one of you who is my Patreon supporter contacted me on Patreon and reminded me that sometimes you need to just let things go. And that's important to hear sometimes. I know you probably all have had projects that you just want to see it work a certain way, but you've wasted way too much time, and there's other things you need to get done, so just give it up for now. So that's what we did. I bagged sensorless homing, I put the 2 end stop switches on, and we're good. I have tightened the nozzle down, so we're torqued there. I also decided that we were not going to put the PEI sheet on. That's just a waste of a PEI sheet. I ordered a spring steel sheet from Wham Bam and the system to put it on there. So we're just going to wait for that. We will be printing on blue tape today, Tom's tape. What else happened? Derek, thank you for the sub. I think that was pretty much it. Oh, so we had the bed yesterday where we were just a little bit off on the Z, that it didn't hit that one mounting hole. Tony Akins, I believe is his last name, he does a lot of the documentation for Railcore. He has a lot of good videos on YouTube about Railcore. He has this whole process of lining up your Z, and I can show you a little bit of how I did it. He shows you how to do it in the video, but I just used a piece of extrusion with a couple of 3D printed angles as my square, and then started at the front corner and then squared everything based on that, and all the holes lined up after that. Everything's nice and straight, rotating correctly. That's all good. I think those are all the updates I had from yesterday. What did we do yesterday? Just wiring in bed, right? And that sensorless homing. I sped the homing speed up for Z because it was way too slow. I set the Z offset. I ended up with around 0.9 offset. I am going to run another level because I have moved this around, and that's where we're going to start today. So, hello to everybody in the chat. I will be chatting with you throughout this print. So here's the plan. We're going to run a quick level. We'll get everything going. I'll load some filament. We'll start the print. And then we will watch the print. I'm going to have to... So what I have figured out for watching this print is I'm going to slide the machine over this way and then just set the camera so that you can see it kind of inside. It'll be actually a pretty nice view of it printing, but I'm going to have to kind of push it over that way. I also need to clean up that side of the table so that makes a good fit. So while we watch it print and we're chatting, I'll clean up. Maybe I'll catch up on some emails that I've been ignoring for all week. And we'll see how it goes. I did call it Tom's tape, so Tom Llama will be happy. Okay, so let's start real quick. Let's just run a quick bed level. I have learned a lot on this build. So I learn more and more about riprap firmware all the time. So let's cycle through this real quick. The level map actually looks pretty good. It's nice and level. I did a little bit of reading how it actually does the 3-point deal, which is kind of cool. There are some. It was already set up in the stock configuration, so I didn't have to do a whole lot there. But on this configuration, you don't have to run a level for every print. It's going to be more than stable enough that we can just keep this mesh and start it in the G code every time you run like a G29S1 or something like that. I did prep a slicer configuration for this in Prusa Slicer. It's a pretty fast one, so we'll see how fast it knocks it out and how the quality compares. There's one other thing I was going to touch on with that. What was it? Oh, the part fan. A lot of people were saying that I needed to switch to another part fan duct, so that might be something I do while the print's going. Get another printer going and get that part fan set up as well. Because this one isn't great, and it's just a little bit too high for this nozzle. I did put some washers underneath it, but it didn't get it down as low as I wanted it to. So we'll definitely take a look at that. DJ Mike, how many printers do I have? I have no clue. Right now in the 20s. I have given a lot away. All that good stuff. Would you like to see... Yeah, let's see. This is what so the right screw is a little bit more, it's a little bit further off than it was before. Because my map looked a lot better than this before, but I think I just need to manually, this is the current map. That's kind of ugly. But it will be a good workout for the three leveling system, and we're just printing a benchy, so it's not that big of a deal. I had it much smoother than this, but I did have to make some adjustments to one of the lead screws when I was adjusting the offset. So that's pretty bad, but it's easy enough to fix. So we'll fix that after the fact. So let's, Jack, thank you for the sub. We're up to temp. Let's load some filament from the sky. Today we will be using Prusa Gentleman Gray, which is actually kind of a green color. Where are the clippers? I don't even have enough space to put the Bowden tube on the top of this extruder. So before we do anything else, and it's not, if you see the printer wobble, it's not the printer, it's because it's setting on a whole bunch of crap. It will be much more stationary when it's over there. Ooh, that was fast. That's one thing I want to check real quick. That's one thing I didn't look at, was how many steps the extruder was set to. E is set to 837. Is that a 0.9? Yes, it is. Okay, we're good then. I'm going to have to look at this. A sub does sound good. I think that's probably a great idea. Just turn this into a table. Because I don't know where I'm going to set it. I'm doing this relatively slowly so I don't make a huge mess. Yeah, there's really no number. Build volume, the plate is actually around like a 235, 240, 220, or 340, 325, something like that. So call it 300, 300, and you can get almost 6 in the Z on this one. I have it set to 580 right now. Okay. It's coughing out a bit of something. Something in that nozzle that it does not like. It never ends, I tell you. It never ends. So let's see what's going on with that. It ejected a bit of filament, then spit out something that I didn't know what it was. So something got in our filament path at some point. Almost looks like cardboard or something. Well, that ain't good. Do I have a... This is a nozzle X. I really hate to lose that one. I don't feel like cleaning it out, though. See if that one works any better. Torch it! You all know how much I love to use the torch. This brass one appears to be working just fine. It's not near as pretty as my nozzle X, but I think we can deal with it. Okay. Alright, let's just hit print. Oh, I thought that was the printer. It's the filament. Phew! Having a printer this tall has really made things difficult down here. Don't break, don't break. Just throw the meat on a rock. Guess I forgot to put a prime line on this. I can't even see the first layer. It's too tall. Oh, don't ruin my tape now. I think this nozzle was just a bit shorter than the last one, maybe. I'll be with you in just a moment. I'm gonna reach in here and get burned is what I'm gonna do. Ask me how I know that. Okay, one more time, I think we got it. I haven't printed on Tom's tape in a while. Thanks. Alright, I think we got it. Honestly, setting up the camera to let you see it is probably going to be the easiest way for me to see it. Gotta guard the coffee, that's really what's important here. Well, I had this idea and I thought it was a good one. So our skirt started out a bit messy, but I think we pulled it off. All right. Behind the smoker. The chamber is a little echoey, yes. Gonna have to buy out 3M. This thing's moving a little fast for a first layer too. That was partly why the skirt did not stick. It's trucking. But the part fan's on. We seem to be operating as expected. So let's just watch it and talk for a bit. The part fan design is not my favorite design. And there's another one, and that's part of what I was going to do today. make a StreamYard's green screen out of it. Now that's a creative idea. So the part fan design that they give you in the batch with the Railcore build, it's actually pressure fit. So it just sets in there, and then you kind of wedge it with a piece of belt, and that's how it's supposed to stay. And that's a no-go. So some of the guys sent me a link to a better shroud, and I'm going to print that probably today. But it's printing. That's all that matters. We do have a lot more to do. I've got to get all the electronics covers finished. I got to put the doors on. I definitely wanted to save that until I did the first print. There's a lot of wire management. There's a Bowden tube that helps kind of direct the filament. All that good stuff. But I'm really happy with how square it is. The belts are level. The bed, I'm happy with how level the bed is. It was a little wonky today, but that's just because of that right lead screw. I had a really good level map last night, actually. All in all, I'm happy that it's done, most of all. This has been quite the journey. AG Wood, thanks for the sub. 69 High Tech, thank you. Actually, I ended up, so I wedged it with the belt, and then I'm like, so then I super glued it. So it's probably, I could probably reach up here and mess up my print, but probably reach in here and pull this belt out. There you go, and that straightened it up. So right now it's just sheer will and some super glue holding that part fan on there. Thank you, Freddie. This has been a really long road. It's running, Jordan, it is. So now I'm going to clean stuff up while we talk and chat and watch this thing print. Because I have to get to the next one. We've got other things to build. Surprise! I will say that I don't think I'll be tackling anything as large as the Railcore build anytime soon. Carl Brown's here. What's up, Carl? Steve, I've got the file. I have to go over there and hit print. I'll get to it. But it's usually worth something to print as is, just to say that you did it. Oh, that's the first time I've heard the power supply fan kick on. How loud is it? It's pretty, for a duet board, it's pretty loud. The current is set pretty high on these. It's the only thing I don't like about the Prusament spools is that filament minder. If you don't pull it just right, it gets caught. But anyway, the current is set pretty high on these motors, and the panels offer a lot of resonance. The shorter one is actually probably quite a bit quieter, but this one is fairly loud. I don't know that I'd want to let it print overnight. We'll find out. The doors will help, so. Steve, you designed the shroud, so you're not a fan. No, no worries. I'm gonna check that out here as soon as I get some stuff off of this table. This was a good warm-up for building a belt printer, huh? You were gonna ask me if if you could pay me to build your Railcore. I don't know. I don't think so. It would be totally different if, you know, I was building it by myself. You know, just on my leisure time. I would have enjoyed it more. But that's no fun. I am in Kansas City, Missouri, Steve. You're liking the Mosquito close-up? You like that? What side did I end up with on there anyway? Oh, nice, yeah. So we even got the logo and everything. You're in Independence. Steve, I think we have crossed paths before, talking with, not in person, but I was supposed to go to some sort of function with Joe Mike and some of the other Railcore guys, and I didn't make it. But I believe you were attending that. So I think we have almost crossed paths before, but I knew that there was somebody close here that was into the whole Railcore thing. I didn't know exactly who it was. I've talked to Joe a few times. But that's good to know. Yep. You're in Tulsa? Nice. It's going too slow. I usually don't speed test stuff, but I am going to speed test this at some point. Dave, already? It took me 8 live streams. I don't know how many hours we worked on this, but it was a few. Bug him for local help. Sounds like a good idea to me. Maybe not to Steve. This is probably the longest build that I've done, but there wasn't a whole lot of G-code tweaking and things. You don't have the multiple tool head headache and all that good stuff on this one, so that was nice. David's down in Springfield. Nice. Yeah, the second is finished. It's working over there. I have made some light modifications to it. Tristan, yes, it is good to see it finally printing. Thank you. Robbie Mack is here as well. Something like 17 minutes? Jeez! You think the Railcore is done. You're probably right. I will be glad to send it to its printing location and get it off the table. That one running the air system was pretty sweet. 90 hours, 75 sessions, 10 months. I'll believe it, John. These are quite the task. Dave was right, though. I give Dave this. After the panels were on, everything was kind of downhill from there. I enjoyed it much more after the panels were installed. I am, I hate to start talking about modding while we're on the first print video, but hey, Chris's basement and all. I am pretty interested in that Halo setup. That looks pretty sweet. Where the top is all one piece. That could be real handy. Depends on how much money you got. It's doing solid infill right now, and it's running at 50 millimeters a second, just for reference. .800 millimeters a second. Jeez. I like the Second. They are better now than when I got mine. Much better. They have an upgraded bed kit that gives you like a solid mount frame that improves it tenfold. That was the biggest. The Second is really nice, but the bed was a bit lacking. I switched mine out and put ABL on it, and it improved it a ton. But I think a lot of the new kits already have that. So if you get one of the kits that has that, it's a really nice printer. Also, I mean, if I was doing the Second over, I would go ahead and put out the money for a genuine hot end and extruder. By default, it comes with clone stuff. Now it comes with the clone BMG and V6. It's well worth upgrading to the actual stuff on that one. This is like 10% infill, but there's not a whole lot of infill in the Benchy. Yeah, definitely on this one, I don't want to stick with the stock setup. I want to go to the higher volume hot end setup. So that'll be a good time. Pumping out, get a large nozzle, start really pumping out the plastic. It would be nice to have a printer where you could knock out pretty large objects in less than a day. Squareness is next to godliness. Dennis, this is 300, 300, 600. I saw that there was a NEMA 23 Halo available. I was like, what? Overkill indeed, but cool. You want a temp on the XY stepper? I can do that. They are 39C right now. I still have some more extrusion I gotta go cut. Hopefully today it's not gonna be 4 billion degrees. I'm pretty sure it is gonna be 4 billion degrees though. You are welcome, Tony. And the extruder motor temp? This is Prusa Slicer. The extruder motor temp is 42. Coffee cup temp is -10. No, it's very cold coffee today. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, you know, Bryce, I have kicked around CNC forever. It's just space, and you know the usual maker problem: space, dust, cleanup, all that good stuff. I have looked at building one a dozen times and have never done it. But I would like to have one. I don't know when that's ever going to happen, but you never know. You never know what I might do. It might have the Rona. Octoprint on a Prusa, like running it on the board, or just using it in general. What am I going to do with hex screws? Do I have a bin for hex screws? I think this is the first time I've ever used them on a build. Cold coffee, I'm just too lazy to warm up my coffee. It goes cold before I get to it, so I've just learned to drink it whenever. Just gathering important information for sales purposes. Yeah, that. That's okay. I had Dustin on here yesterday. He might be lurking. He's probably not chatting because Dave's in the chat. This whole thing has really become kind of a family scenario, honestly. It's to the point now where you don't just buy things willy-nilly, or you don't do things, on the fly. You know a guy. I really got to get rid of some stuff. Alright, I think that's all the screws. %drop in production. Well, I'll have to go back to work, and I'll stop streaming on business hours soon. So hopefully things will pick back up at the end of this week. Yes, it is Prusa Slicer. I have a hack for that. Somebody was mentioning getting rid of that bulge. I have a hack for that, but you have to manually edit the G-code. You can also reduce the overlap percentage on the infill. That will get rid of a lot of it, all but just a little bit. That helps. But then your top layers don't look near as crisp on the edges if you do that. But I can hack it to get rid of it, but it seems like somebody was saying this earlier in this stream, but it seems like that would be a pretty easy thing to... on solid layers, you had an option in the slicer just to tick the button. Maybe we should talk to development over there and see what they can do for us. I'll just give Joe a call and tell him what we need. I'm sure he'd love that. Joe, I need you to make my benchy print better. Go. This table is so clean now. Feds 27, thank you. See you later, John Strand. Got your first Ender 3, awesome. I personally would not mod your Prusa until you're familiar with it, because I think you're going to just like it, probably. It's a good, all-around, easy-to-use, reliable printer. There are things you can do to make it better, of course, but out of the box, they print pretty nice for price point and what you get. Freddie, I'm not sure who to go to. Work Hockey does a lot of, he's got a GitHub full of slicer profiles. I don't know the link to it, but I'm sure I could find it for you. Chris Work Hockey on YouTube's. How bad does the deck line show up? I have that, Benchy. Where is it? It's on the wall, oh Benchy, I believe. I don't think you can see it at all on that one. Well, now I gotta find it. There's a couple of different ones back here. I remember it was white, but there's a couple of different white ones back there because they're industrial material. Oh no, it's on the wall of Benchy's. Hold on, let me go get it. Yes, I have multiple walls of Benchy. Yeah, no deck line on this guy. Hopefully I don't ruin the print by doing this, but you can tell that there's no deck line on that one because it was printed on a belt printer. That's a great suggestion from Dave. You'll know. I mean, especially when you first get into 3D printing, you're trying to find everything possible to 3D print. You'll know probably in a week or so what is agitating you. So what size piece? You could probably get almost a medium on this guy, Robbie Mac. I guarantee it. Gotta love the Mosquito. It just looks cool. A Benchy at 45. I've done a few at 45. I've done a couple on their end. Halves of Benchies. Unforeseen benefit of belt printing. There you go. The Benchy is the most useless thing to print that everyone prints. I've kind of made a YouTube career on the Benchy, so It's done me a lot of good. Did I paint that nozzle? There's Chimera mount for the Railcore. I'm actually putting the Chimera on another one that I'm building. I don't know if this one's going to... That print looks pretty darn good. I don't know if this one will get a Chimera or not. I think I'm going to stick with... the high flow method. See how fast I can pump out plastic. It needs some tuning, but for the first print, it don't look bad. The only person to ever make money off the Benchy. Probably. I don't know if Daniel nor Ray ever made any money off of it, but I've done pretty well. No, I don't have any of the no-stick paint yet. Most useless print you have to print. I've gotten my mileage out of it, that's for sure. And I have to say, if you have watched these streams and watched me struggle, any problem that I didn't cause myself was remedied by the guys at either Project Red or my buddies at PrintedSolid. Any struggles that we had were fixed very quickly, and I appreciate that support. Probably one of the biggest factors that you should keep in mind when you're looking to buy a 3D printer. What happens when it gets messed up? Because most of the time it's a when, not an if. Marv Cocky. There is a lot of people willing to help with the Railcore. That's cool. Cali Cat. I've done a few Cali Cats. I had a really big one somewhere. I don't know what happened to it. Oh, I guess it didn't make it. I don't know where it's at. Steve, thank you for the sub. You're your own. That's both the upside and the downfall. I totally agree. And there's an upside to having to recut the panels, Dave. I know it cost you some money and you would have rather not done it, but I've already been able to work that into some of my other projects. So it was kind of a bummer that it happened, but also pretty sweet that I have extra HDPE sitting around. So thanks, Dave. Yeah, Steven, that's kind of what I was kind of waiting. Dave, a while back, said that he was going to get Railcore. I don't know how much lead time he gave me on that, but it seemed like it was a while ago when he first started working it out. So, and I had talked to Joe and some other folks, and they're like, well, you got to get into Railcore. But then I found out Dave was going to get into the market, so I thought, well, that's a perfect time. We'll just wait for that. So I'm glad I finally got to do it, and we got to stream it and all that good stuff. Paul, we didn't do much today. All we did was level and start the print, so that's pretty much all we've been doing is watching it. The one-uppers. There's a shortage of it in the US right now. Oh no. Well, I'll use it sparingly then. Creality Hotend on your A8, right on. That's not a terrible Hotend setup, really. I mean, that's kind of where I got introduced on the PTFE going all the way down to the nozzle. And if you get it set up just right, it's not too bad. It's on a lot of different printers, and there's a lot of them out there, so it has to be worth something. I think they're very affordable as well. I don't know what buying one from Creality would cost, but I have just a bit of under extrusion there. I don't know where that came from, but I'll figure that out. I just set this one to, it's got a few fuzzies on it as well. I set this one to 0.5 retraction because it is a Mosquito. But it does have a little bit of tube to deal with, so I'll have to dial that in a bit. Yeah, I mean, if you can swing the Micro Swiss, definitely go for it. They're pretty well machined. The one-uppers are good for your business, is what you're telling me, Dave. Bill, totally agree. My favorite setup on the Ender 3 is the Easy R. It's cheap, easy to use, works good. On the Micro Swiss, I guess I never really thought about it, but that's good to know. Tripod's Garage is here. What's up? I haven't looked at a Micro Swiss in a while. That's the one that has like the collar, like the brake has like a collar you put it down in, and there's a set screw or something like that. I have a couple. I have never really messed with them a whole lot. Tom the 3D Print Viking is here. I don't know if I said hi to you today, Tom. But hello. C3H4, hello, how are you? Thanks for joining the stream. This is the stock fan shroud, which I could totally slice. This is, Dan, I had a Nozzle X on here and I got a clog of some kind. This is a cheap, no-name brass nozzle that was just sitting on the table. So I really have no idea. I know it's not an E3D one, so I don't know what it is, but that's my story. I'm going to slice my new fan duct right now. Duct. Cooling shroud. Since Steve is in here, this is the guy we're talking about, right? I think the max speed on this one is like 60 or something. I don't know exactly. That's the max speed I've seen it hit. Make sure it's the right one. 45-degree angle version, okay. Oh, there's one for aluminum and one for printed. Ah, okay, good to know. Gotcha. Cool. Three parts total. Impeccable timing. It's linked on that page under Remix with supports already included. Cool. You guys are really doing all the work for me here. Nice. I think that missed layer might have been my spool getting caught up, because it just happened again. Yep. So that was my fault, not the printer's fault. See what happens when you hurry through stuff? You get your filament caught up. Paul, yes, I do plan on doing a video on the closed loop steppers as soon as I can get a set. Freddie, if it's the same make of nozzle, Probably not. You might have to adjust it a bit just because things change, but probably not so much. Steve, which one are we talking about? That's a shame on that layer shift. Martin, I don't know what fan you're talking about, but both the fans on that one are running. I'm going to start this print. You guys keep watching. Okay. Martin from 3DP Iceland's here. What's up? I do not know the voltage on those. Maybe somebody else does. Francisco, thank you for the sub. Brian, thank you for the sub. I will send you the link that I have. Paul, thank you very much for the 5. Much appreciated. It's going to read your thing in a second. There it goes.
Thanks for all you do for the community, man.
Well, thanks for you guys hanging out with me. It's my pleasure. Jordan, you got it, man. Anytime. This is Prushament PLA. It's Gentleman Gray is the color. It's just what I had on hand. Dieter, you are very welcome. I'm glad the videos are handy. Tripods Garage, thank you very much for the $3. I will do just that. It's been a long couple of days. U3D print, the filament got hung up. That was my fault.
Get a beer after this stream. Winking face.
It is a 0.4 nozzle. This is a Mosquito hot end, yes. Jesse Foreman, thank you very much. Thanks for joining the stream. I haven't talked to you in a bit. The rails are usually super quiet, you know, depending on what rail you get. There's a lot of different types out there. But a good quality rail, or even a cheaper rail, if you pull it apart and clean it a bit and re-oil it and all that, the rails are usually real quiet. Martin, the Slice Engineering hot ends are awesome. The Mosquito is awesome. They're very well built. Is it better than a V6? It depends what you want to do. The Mosquito is really designed to be a swap out for high temp. They'll go to like 450. But it's a one-stop shop. You buy one, you don't have to ever buy another one. The way they're designed, they're really easy to mount. They don't require near as much cooling. You can print everything all the way up to Ultim. They're just a really well-made hot end. Is it worth 3 times the amount of, you know, almost 3 times of what a V6 cost? Not if you're just printing PLA. But if you really want the best of the best, the Mosquito is where it's at. I gotta wait 3 hours for my new part fan? Jeez. The Mosquito is patented, yes. Freddie, it still impresses me. When I've seen it thousands of times, it still impresses me. Mike's Tech World, I just go ahead and buy it because probably, I mean, the big thing with the Mini, they went to that 32-bit board, so you're going to see more firmware updates than anything. They're going to start introducing a lot of features and flashy stuff like that. And anything they do update will probably be a printed option, or they'll sell a cheaper upgrade kit. So I just go ahead and order it because the lead time is pretty long. Just my opinion. Will, it's just a standard 0.4 nozzle that I found sitting on the bench. It's like watching X-Copy. I haven't done that in a while. I do not have any experience with Zarmbro kits. Check out my man Joe Casha, 3D printing noob. Lead time is 2 months. Yeah, so fun fact, we gave a Prusa Mini away for the 25,000 giveaway, and I believe that was in April or March. I don't remember. It was a while back. He just got it last week. So, yeah, the lead time and with all's going on, it's pretty long. Do I have the tool changer? Will we ever see it again? Absolutely, you will. I do have it. I am looking at doing a lot of different tool heads this coming season, as I like to call them. Chimera being one of them. But yes, we will see it again. Magnum with the DDX. Sweet. That'll be a fun project. Shipping in September. Awesome. That's good to hear that they're catching up. Ken, thank you very much. This has been quite the project, but I'm happy with it. Thank you, Jerry. I am happy to help you all out. I do like the Copperhead. I haven't had any time to test it. It's a really cool design. It's open source. It's a good companion hot end to the Mosquito, I believe. I'm looking forward to doing some testing with it. I just haven't had any time to do it. The new milling head, that's right. What is it? ABSML or something? Is that what they're calling it? I don't remember. Are you talking, David? Are you talking about for the Mini? For right now, just to get you started, that stock hot end's pretty good. I would just stick with it. Now, if you're talking Mark III, it comes with a V6. There's nothing wrong with the V6. Just hang with that. Dan, we're almost done with our benchy. Vedran is sending me a super secret model. I gotta check that out. It does look good for the first run. It was my fault. A couple of issues here. My fault. The filament got hung up twice, and you'll see a couple of missed spots. Where's the pokey tool? That one, of course. It really got hung up on that one, but also down here. And it's because of filament from the sky. The Prussiamint spool does not like it when I filament from the sky because it has a side keeper on it, and that gets hung up every once in a while. So that was my fault. I'm gonna get done with this and eat some lunch. I'm hungry. There's Vedran right there. I didn't give away any surprises, Vedran. I didn't do it. By the way, Vedran, I still see that that pool gif of you with the squirt gun on Twitter, and it still makes me laugh. That's one of the funniest things I've ever seen, I think. That is 3 skirts. That's the only add-on that I had. Vedran, you're funny. That's all that matters. Hilarious. It's not a mini. Yes, I was just talking about it, Vedran. I'm going to take a look at that as soon as I get done here. I was bugging Vedran the other day that I needed a Chris Riley mini. It's a 0.2 layer height. Probably it's got auto cooling on, so you really can't know. I've seen Duet report 50 millimeters a second. Let's crank up the speed here. I'll wait until my sweet new part fan's done. Bill Steele is here. What's up, Bill? Steven's fielding all the questions today. When you move to Core XY, it's like Steven's saying, you get speed. You do get some speed bump. You have to take certain things into account, like acceleration and jerk, because of the carriage movement and things like that. But you get a smoother transition than you would on like an i3 design. Most all of them you're going to see are going to be drop bed. I have seen a few that are stationary that move up, but in that configuration, you do have somewhat of a butter zone in the middle when you're transitioning, but built correctly, it's very small. So is fluidity a word? That you get out of that design should enable you to be more accurate and faster. But you have to do it just right. There's a few ins and outs to that, like motor current and belt length and tension and all that good stuff. In total, how long did the build take? I don't know. Taking a break from work. I'm always taking a break from work. There's a little resonance here from the panels, but it's all that noise. It's pretty quiet. Other than the BL Touch, I like the pinned probes myself. Inductive probes are where it's at to me. I like them better than the BL Touch. It doesn't like the mic very well, I would imagine. It's not super quiet. I just think you can't hear it. But a lot of it is the panel resonance that you can hear. See you later, veteran. Yes, I tweaked the filament on accident. I got hung up. See you later, Steve. Thanks for joining all these different streams. Appreciate the support. Bill got 200 Pender probes today. Nice. Yeah, at some point I will probably put a Pender probe on here. I kind of prefer it. Lenny, thanks for the 5, man.
Here's few euros to sponsor a proper build surface or a coffee or a beers. It is yours anyway, slightly smiling face.
A slightly smiling face. What's the stream length on this? We really won't count today. So the first one was 2 hours. Let's call it 4.5, 5.5. 7, 10. There's 13 hours of live stream, not including this live stream. But I would say I probably have 3 or 4 more hours on that. So let's call it 15, 16 hours for the build. Okay. The print is done. There's really not much more I can show you, actually. You're getting a pretty good view right now. let's I really want to avoid putting my hand on the AC terminals. That would be nice. I gotta fix my nozzle X. Outside of me causing a few problems, it looks pretty darn nice. We have a bit of stringing. I did completely botch 2 of the layers by getting the filament hung up. If we can get it to focus a bit. The print service looks pretty good. There's a little bit of tuning to be done, but for a first print, not bad at all. A little messy in the back. I am anxious to compare this one to when the new fan shroud gets on. But not a bad first benchy to me. Many more to come. Okay. Mike never let the machines win. It's right here to see the benchy. Awesome. So that's it. That's all I'm going to stream about the Railcore. Maybe we'll do like another side stream after I get the whole thing complete, if you would like to do that. I gotta find a location for it. I gotta put the doors on, the control box, all that good stuff. Clean up some wiring. I got my new part fan printing over there right now, so we'll do some more prints. The new part fan is over on GitHub. I don't know if it's on Thingiverse or not. Here is the GitHub one more time if you would like to take a look at it. There you are. And that's all. Thank you very much for everyone that hung out. These were 8 streams, like 13 hours of stream time here. Thanks for showing up, sticking with me. This was a long one. I had to take a couple of week break before I completed it. All the tips, all the people that helped support, all the Railcore people that showed up to support me while building it. Dave over at PrintedSolid for having these kits and supporting me when I had problems. And the guys at Project Red taking all of my Twitter messages. So it was a joint effort, and I appreciate all the support. So thank you. I will see you on another stream sometime very, very soon. Probably maybe this weekend, maybe later next week. I'm not sure when yet, but I'll see a lot of you very soon. Again, thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you later.